I am pacing like a caged animal on my front porch, so I do apologize. Turn your motion sickness on, put your tab behind your ear, or take a motion sickness pill. I can't help it. I'm still not feeling 100%. I'm past the yuckiness stage of it all, if you will. Um, I still have a heck of a cough. This chick, I cannot remember her name, but it says "Comb your tits and have a beer." Um, Hilarious videos on YouTube here. Um, yeah, I thought I would just jump on here since I have an opportunity to go live today, which isn't very often. Um, Things have happened. I've had to put my best friend in the whole world down, my sugar bear. That was September, last Friday of September. Her ashes are sitting on my urn. Um, the company that came out was phenomenal. Um, I have to get a hold of them to see if they're okay with me giving them their or putting their name and whatnot out as far as cremation services. Um, Even though it is for a pet, pets are your family members. And my dog was on the road with me for many, 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 many years. She has chased down many, many hotel staff down the hall that don't pay attention to the do not disturb sign on my doorknob. So she is my best friend. There's absolutely no replacing her. As of now, I'm not looking to get another dog. I donated, let's see, I had 5 bags of unopened food for her. Man, bags and bags and bags and bags of various snacks and treats and whatnot to the town up, Humane Society. I have to get a hold of them as well to see if they're okay with me posting their name. Um, Along with a bunch of blankets and brand new toys that were meant to be her kind of her Christmas presents. But folks, pay attention to what you're feeding your animals. Um, we took her. I actually took her, and she is towards the end. She didn't really like getting in the car or my truck, um, which should have been a huge red flag for me. But I didn't really pay any attention to it. I just thought she was bucking it because she's used to being home more and more here lately, um, which was fine for me, you know. But should have been a huge red flag for me. She was bucking and bucking and bucking and did not want to get into the vehicle, which I wouldn't either if I wasn't feeling good. And I had noticed that she was drinking about 3 gallons of water a day, just drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking. And she's not wanting her liverwurst, which is what we used to put her medications in. You know, her nerve pain pills because she had neuropathy of the knees and all around just phenomenal dog. Like I can't stress it enough. She is that one in a million dog that will never be ever be able to be replaced. Um, I miss her every day. Every day that I'm home, I can't go upstairs yet. Um, Mainly because when I was home, she would sleep in bed with me. My wife would sleep in a different room with a different dog and or the cat. Um, my girl, Sugar Bear, she was everything. She knew when I was having a bad day. Actually, when I came home from the army, I had a gentleman in Indianapolis asked me if I wanted a pit bull, and I was in complete uniform, carrying all my sea bags and my rucksack. And I said, "Listen, man, I don't have the money to pay you for a dog." And he said, "No, I'm not asking you. Just take her. She's yours." After the live stream, I'll post a picture of her. I actually was home 6 months prior to heal um, from a gunshot wound, which is another story. Um, for 6 months to be assigned to a reserve unit to go in once or twice a week and um, just kind of make my presence known. But I'll post a picture of me and her here afterwards after the live chat, and you guys could see it. I think the vet told me she was about 6 weeks, 7 weeks when I got her. Scrawny little thing. My bestest friend in the whole wide world. She went everywhere and anywhere with me. No hesitation in the world. Um, I'm sure those hotel cleaning women. One was in Mississippi. The other one was in Alabama. One was in Tennessee, and one was up in Canada, um, Ontario. It was hilarious. I get a phone call from Holiday Inns saying that my dog has gotten out and is actually running down the hotel staff down the hallway, which made me immediately chuckle and laugh because if you guys knew my sugar bear, she was the most kindest, gentlest dog in the whole wide world. Everybody has the stereotype of a pit bull, and man, let me tell you something, folks. That breed will do absolutely whatever you want, whenever you want. And it's all on how you raise a dog. I mean, you can raise a Chihuahua to be pissed off and aggressive. You can raise a poodle, which I know my grandma had two poodles, Sniffer and Bandit, and them damn dogs would bite the hell out of me. Like, legit, run me down in the middle of the night just to light my ankles and legs up. Uh, Sugar Bear, my pit, was the greatest dog ever. She knew when I was having a bad day. She knew when shit was getting too real. She took care of me. So, in her later years, I did my best to take care of her. But pay attention to what you're feeding your dogs, people. Yes, I was feeding her blue buffalo, and I'm not. I shouldn't say blue buffalo. I shouldn't say their name, but I'm not. This isn't paid. I don't get paid to do any of my videos. It doesn't matter if somebody sends me something uh, or whatnot. But pay attention to what you're feeding your animals. Ultimately, what ended up taking my girl out was kidney disease, um, which is a big proponent of her food. Um, take a look at your ingredients. Make sure it does not have excessive amounts of phosphate. I forget what it is, phosphate acid or phosphate nitrate. Um, that is a huge kidney killer. Pit bulls should live to be anywhere from 12 to 14 years old. She'd be, well, she was 11 and a half. Because I got her back in May of April or May of 2021 when I first came home from the Army. So she's been with me from day one. Her ashes are on my mantle. Every day that I'm home, I give them 3 kisses like I gave her every day. And I had a portrait painted of her, go above her food bowl, up the wall. And like I said, I still cannot go upstairs, my upper level or my lower level in the house. I'm stuck on the main floor. Um, Mainly because I actually carried her down the stairs her last day, which is very heavy. She was in my arms for her last breath. She was not in my arms for her first breath, but she was in my arms for all of her life, minus 6 or 7 weeks. Um, like I said, there's no replacing her, folks. I apologize, grown man, grown military guy, tearing up. My, I've had a couple customers of mine say, "Are you seriously this heartbroken over a dog?" And I've just hung up on them. Fuck off. Call somebody else to fix your shit because you've lost my respect. Your dogs are family, people. Treat them as such, right? So I'm still not 100%. As you guys can hear, I'm sniffling and sneezing. More so now because you got me talking about my girl. But I still have a really horrible chest cough. I know I'm smoking and drinking beer, but I am a red blooded American and I have my flaws. Don't judge. Just calm your tits and have a beer and get more gooder, will you? Current events going on. I have not paid attention to the news because I am actually working from home this week, updating customer prints. Um, a lot of bad things are going on in the world right now, and there's coyote preppers or whatever. I was talking about coyote preppers and stacking and stocking and the whole 9 yards. Folks, do what makes sense for you guys, right? I don't get paid by anybody. I'm just a loudmouth redneck in the armpit of America, right? I'm in the middle of Nowheresville, Indiana. I own my own business. I do what I want to do when I want to do it. And for the most part, if you have special needs, right? Like you need somebody to wear a crotch waffle or whatever on what or whatever, have your in the arm, don't call me because I'm not going to help you out. I'm not going to do anything for you to make your business more profitable. It's just not going to happen. Now, if you call me at 2 o'clock in the morning and say, "Hey, man, my plant's down. I got this problem. I can't get my boiler to light, or I'm having this kind of a balance of plant issue. My O2's bottoming out, so on and so forth." I will do everything within my power to dispatch one of the 32 guys that I have that work for me to your facility within 3 or 4 hours. or I will fix you over the phone right here, right now. Um, a lot of them are very appreciative of it. A lot of people just straight up want me on site, and I can't be in various states and whatnot at the same point. So it's like you can't be a beggar and chooser of who you get for whatever you got. It is what it is. Well, we will get you back up and running. You know, don't beat yourself up about it, but we'll get you there. Hang on. And I do a lot of work in boilers. I do a lot of work in FANUC robots. I actually just put in 33 robots. They're cobots for Jefferson North Assembly Plant in Detroit, Michigan. These are CRX 10-IA/L cobots with Lincoln welding. Everybody likes to pick on AI and say that they are 100% replacing human labor. No, it's not. In reality, people, I'm 43 years old, getting ready to turn 44. What do we have the most in this country? A lack of people willing to do the job. Period. So if the people don't want to do the job, that's fine. It's money to me. It means propelling me to the next level. I have no problem putting in a cobot or a robot to meet their manual labor needs, right? I mean, business is business. No problem doing that. But I hear a lot of people on YouTube say that, putting in robots or artificial intelligence is literally killing the mankind. It's not. It's really no different than the swarms of Guatemalans or Venezuelans or Mexicans coming across the border to pick fruit, as Nancy Pelosi would say. That's it. It's doing jobs that really no American wants or can or should be doing. Therefore, I replace them with either a robot or a cobot. Lincoln Welding. I'm not paid by any affiliates, or this is not a sponsored video in any way, shape, or form. But the CRXs that I implemented with the Lincoln end of arm tooling, I'll tell you folks, fucking phenomenal. I promise you, it is phenomenal. I'm not a big Dodge or Chrysler fan. I'll leave my personal feelings out of it. Um, I'm a Ford guy or a Honda guy, and the things that I got these cobots to do on the Jeep truck line specifically was eliminating roughly 40 people's positions. Those were positions that the tier supplier could not fill to save their life. They actually legitimately had white collar supervisors out on the floor trying to MIG weld frames together for the Jeep truck that were not making specifications for FCA, which is Fiat Chrysler Assembly. Um, that's a problem. Why hinder the supply chain any more than it's already been hindered? So I took the contract, I purchased all of the cobots, which was no no easy task. You try calling Fanick, putting in a order for 30 to 35 cobots, and you tell me what their response is going to be. Yeah, when you want them, 20, 30. But I actually was put on a first cancel, first call list and was able to secure about 95% of them all at once. Um, so it paid off. I was thankful. Um, Sorry, I'm on a tangent. Folks, do what you want to do. Do what's best for you and your family and your kids or your grandkids or you and your wife or whatever. If you want to buy a solar generator and solar panels, buy it. If you have the extra money, buy it. If you want to, again, I'm not sponsored by anybody here. This is just a guy on a phone in the middle of nowheresville. Do and buy what makes sense for you, period. Don't let your friends or trying to keep up with the Joneses or, you know, some weirdo prepping channel that calls himself a prepper dictate to you what you do and say or buy, right? Um, I have a solar generator. I'm not going to say what I have because it's what I chose to buy when I bought it. Do I have freeze dried food? I do, but it's the freeze dried food that I thought was best for my family when I bought it. Do I have a stockpile of stuff? Sure, of course I do. But it's everything and anything that me and my family are going to eat. Everything we have is in a rotational surplus, if you will. Meaning, if I take a can of soup out or I take a pork chop out, it automatically goes on a list. It is repurchased and put into the back of the shelf for a later date and time. Everything that me, my wife, or my daughters have bought is tagged and dated and logged in one of our books so we can keep track of what we have or don't have. From ketchup to steak sauce to shit, corn, green beans, stuffing, noodles, turkeys, you name it, we've got it, folks. Um, do you need to be prepared in today's days and age? Yeah, you do. But see, I was what you call a prepper long before it was actually a thing. Most people don't know, some close friends and family know, I was homeless when I was 16. I was emancipated at 16. My wife, which was my girlfriend at the time, is the reason why I was emancipated. She's 3 or 4 years older than me. And I got her pregnant in high school. Actually, then I was in high school. And my father said, you want to be a man, you want to do manly things, you're going to be a man. So I was actually emancipated on my 16th birthday. That was in February, and by October, her and I were married, and we had our first daughter in December of 2016. So, 27 years this year, folks. 27 years. Same woman, same story, same plan. Except back in the day, my wife literally thought I was just a food hoarder by buying extra spaghetti sauces and macaronis and noodles and stuffing and, having 30, 40 pounds worth of frozen meat in our freezer. She literally thought I was a food hoarder, like this was a big problem I needed to seek help for. Um, Back then, I was running a body shop, and if you know anything about working on cars, it's feast or famine. You either have it or you don't. So if you don't have it, what do? You scrimp and save and prep and prepare for the days that you do have it, right? So that's what we did. And it wasn't until maybe 6 months before I enlisted in the Army, my wife was like to the point to say, I get it now. I get why you were a food hoarder, essentially. You was trying to prepare us for when things got tight. And I'll tell you, things got extremely, extremely tight. And it was that way for a while, but thankfully we had had enough to keep us through to the hard times, right? I literally think the only thing she went to the grocery store to buy was milk and eggs, um, and bread, maybe. But I think at a certain point I had chickens, so she wasn't even going to the store for that. She was just going for milk and bread, which was a huge saving factor. So, sorry on another rant, another tangent, but stack, stock, do what's best for your family. I promise you, in the end, it will all work out. Stop living off of everybody else's man made crisis. Do what's best for you and yours, and that's it. You start getting prepper anxiety, shut it off. Turn the news off. Turn the TV off. Turn your radio off. Just follow the headlines. That's all you have to do. Just follow the headlines. And you see a big ass mushroom cloud in the sky, don't look at it, folks. It's not your friend, and it's not that shiitake. Until next time, this is Dirty Like Government. Cheers. I am out.